allow me to. So I went fully decked out in Amazon Warrior wear. And of course, we were surrounded by Patriot fans and Amazon Warrior fans. At one point, I even had a woman that was leaving her seat to come over in front of me to wave every time somebody out. It was yes, yes. I actually know her really well. Her husband is a bishop, and he was just sitting there like, oh my God, what's happening here? But she was fully decked out in her Sinkits shirt. She was loud. She was proud. Unfortunately, the Patriots fell to the Warriors, so yeah.
They're not doing so good.
No, you know what? I must say, the team is a pretty good team. I really thought we would have won on Wednesday night. Unfortunately, Brandon King went into bat first, and he is a powerhouse. He's also a cutie. Yeah, I look at cricketers as well.
I don't fault you. I'm going to look at the ladies.
Exactly, right? And we had some dancers as well. But I
hope it was all female dancers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're pretty sexy too. So you should come to cricket, even if it's just for that. Okay. We need the support.
Because I'm not into the politically correct. Oh, we gotta stick some male cheerleaders in there. Never that. I've never heard of them
I've seen them at CPL.
Male cheerleaders?
No, I've never seen them at CPL.
Well, let's hope we don't go down that
road. No, but last night I'm surprised I even have a voice, and I had to keep saying, you need your voice for tomorrow. You need your voice for tomorrow. But it was amazing. And then of course, so the Guyanese community has this running joke where they're like, every year you're going to be a clown for Amazon Warriors, like in full Guyanese accent, right? And then the response is you send a picture of a clown because you're going to back them still, because they've gone to the final so many times and not won. Every year they're bridesmaids instead of brides. No.
I didn't realize that.
It's ridiculous. Like, they are the one team that will get to the finals and then drop the ball. Literally drop the ball.
But it must be a schizophrenic life you live, huh? Wow.
No, well, see, I have 2 horses in the race now,
that
right?
reminds me of, there is the World Championships going on right now, right?
Yes.
There's an Italian high jumper. He does this thing where he's been doing it since 2019. He shaves one half of his face. I can't remember what the reason was. So like
right down the middle.
Right down the middle is perfectly clean shaven on one side, and the other side has like a stubble, maybe about a 1/2 inch long.
What?
I don't remember what his reason was, but so I thought.
I think I should do that because
so
last night I collected Patriots flags and T-shirts. My friends are watching me. I'm like, leave me alone. Don't judge me. I'm going to use these at our next game. Because as long as they're not playing Guyana Amazon Warriors, I'm full Patriots. Like, I almost lost my voice on Wednesday night.
I understand.
But I have been having an amazing time at cricket. I absolutely love cricket.
So have Guyana and Patriots ever made it to the final where they were playing against each other? We know what the outcome was. The Patriots won.
Yeah. And my household was insane because I have sisters that are born here and some of us are born in Guyana. And so it's like, usually, let me compare it to when LeBron James and the Lakers play and Steph Curry and the Warriors. My house is also torn right down the middle.
So that's like a cricket game between dejection and delight, right? So how do you? No, but seriously, how do you handle that when the Patriots win? But I mean,
listen, I usually go.
How do those two opposing emotions live together?
You get rid of the one that lost.
Okay, that's pretty practical.
Exactly. You're like, oh my God. Well, you know what? We'll try again next year. But yes, I think it's one.
Wow.
So I think, well, there's a break tonight because the guys do deserve a break. The Patriots have been playing really well, in my opinion, because I've seen them years before. And I really thought they would have won the game on Wednesday.
So that means, so technically they haven't won any games yet because they had to use that formula in St. Lucia, right?
Duckworth-Lewis system. And I think every team got a point.
Oh, so everybody's more or less on the same footing except for who won last night, I guess.
And then the night before, right?
And the night before,
right.
Right.
So
okay.
tomorrow, Trinidad goes against Barbados. I think that's like a morning game. And then in the evening, there's, oh my goodness, I can't remember it. I think it's Guyana and Jamaica. Let me see if I can find the schedule. Right. So Saturday morning, it's St. Lucia Kings versus Trinbago Knight Riders. And then in the evening, it's Patriots versus Barbados. And then on
Remember
Sunday.
to give you this after. So
yes,
you can keep it because the sponsorship.
So I don't have to keep pulling it up, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So maybe if we take a break, you can run around for it.
I pull it up on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell
you.
No,
but I printed it because it was.
I'm gonna keep it in here as soon as I get up for the break.
We only have 3 screens in here, and so.
And then you are kind of halfway there where cricket is concerned. You only want to come for the cheerleaders, and I don't know what.
No, I didn't say that. Well, I mean, yeah, but that wasn't the thing about. Because I even forgot that cricket. Because listen, I think cricket has been a pretty stuffy game for decades, right?
Yeah. The CPL has broken it up though, because it's like it's party and it's just 20 overs. Yeah. Because I can't deal with Test cricket. It gets frustrating for me after a while. Like, you got to remember what they ended at the day before, and then you come back and it's
like chess on a field.
Yeah, I don't like Test cricket. Give me the 20 overs. Whoever makes what, the next team goes in 20. It's done.
I always say the Brits like to complicate things just for the sake of complicating things.
I'm telling you. So no,
you play for 5 days, and then at the end of it, nobody wins.
Exactly.
And both teams have all the same colors.
Like, how do you differentiate, right? Yeah. No. CPL killed all of that. It's what they determined as the biggest party in cricket. And that party stand is lit. The only reason I can't deal with the party stand is because this is hurricane season and I'm not about to go out there and get wet. But it looks like so much fun.
So am I right in saying if it wasn't for the Caribbean, cricket would be pretty stodgy and boring, right?
You're probably absolutely
correct. If it wasn't for the Caribbean side of it.
Yes, you're absolutely correct with that. And even the uniforms are, they represent the colors of the country's flags. Well, except I think for Trinbago Knight Riders, because I think they did like a purple thing last time. I don't know what they're going to come with this year, because I haven't really looked at any of the games that they played before coming to St. Kitts. But they're on tomorrow morning, and then St. Kitts is on again tomorrow night, so they've just gotten like a day rest.
Let me ask you a question. Isn't St. Lucia Zooks, right?
No, they changed the name to Kings.
Oh, Kings.
Yeah. It's now St. Lucia Kings and Trinbago Knight Riders, St. Kitts Patriots, Barbados Royals, Jamaica Talawas, Amazon Warriors. Okay,
because the thing is, this thing that they gave me has Kings, but it doesn't say. It doesn't say which team. It just says Kings.
Yeah, St. Lucia changed it to Kings a while back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm out there again tomorrow night and then Sunday morning.
Jam, so you're here talking here talking to Candy?
Of course.
You know what Candy did yesterday?
What?
I already admitted to it.
I know, but I have to bring it up.
What?
I saw Candy post a picture on her status. Remember we showed you how to do that? How to look at the status on the WhatsApp.
He's hating.
Okay.
You look at it and wear it this morning.
What was the picture about?
She had on an Amazon Warrior hat.
It's a free country.
Loud and proud.
Hey, this isn't Russia where
he's not complaining the night before I had Patriots plastered all over my status, He's not complaining about that. You see this? This is not fair.
But the thing is, he has to realize this is not Russia where if Candy did that and then say she was taking a ferry to Nevis, they'll find a way to put a box with an explosive under the seat.
Yep.
I've messaged her.
It's a free country.
I said, Candy, I'm going to get you tomorrow. But, as you say, it's a free country. And I love that, we could support whoever we want. Yeah. And, of course, I know she was torn between both of them. Because, the country of your birth and the country that you reside and live, So
my home. I have all my business and my house and everything here.
So you have like 2 teams in the game. Your chances of winning is greater than
than everybody else, right?
But it's not a competition,
2 horses in that race.
But isn't cricket?
It really is a competition.
It's a competition, but in terms of who gets to back how many teams, I don't think it should be.
Jam, so which teams are you backing? You seem like you have multiple.
Patriots, of course.
Of course.
Only the Patriots?
Huh?
Only the Patriots?
Well,
He's also backing the cheerleaders.
I guess technically I could back Trinidad as well because my father is Trinidadian. So
Okay then.
I'm half Trini, so.
Trinidad has a pretty powerful team
I
this year.
sense that he might have been backing some team other than the Patriots.
Really?
No.
He
Not
can't
in
be
this
that
case. Not in this case.
unpatriotic.
Can he be?
You want us to kick him out?
I'd switch off this schizophrenia when it comes to the cricket. Just Patriots.
Awesome.
And guys, today is also
Kim Collins Day. Yes.
My calendar reminded me as soon as I got up this morning.
Jamsa, did you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kim
I'm
Collins
just
Day.
holding your feet to the fire.
Are there any events planned or anything like that?
KC, congratulations.
Congratulations,
I call him
Kim
Casey.
Collins.
Oh
Yes.
my.
KC.
Yes.
Good morning, Kim. Congrats. What are your plans for today? Call in and let us know or send us a quick
Actually,
note.
that would be nice, if you did.
Yeah.
I
I actually corresponded with him yesterday to try to see if he could have, come and
or send a message.
Yes, but unfortunately, he couldn't at this time. But all best wishes to Kim Collins on this day. As
Whatever
we
you're
remember,
doing today,
we have a
enjoy
call.
it.
You guys,
let's get a call.
Caller, you're on Island Tea. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. May I speak to Jamsa?
Speaking.
Jamsa, you
I
have
want to do a Zoom. We could do a Zoom this morning?
A Zoom?
Ah, that's too tight.
Oh, I mean,
Who's this?
that's Dominic.
Dominic.
Oh,
Dominic.
Dominic. Yes.
Dominic, you're on the air.
You're on the ear. Sorry.
You called on
So we'll
air.
do a Zoom link this morning.
Yes.
Thank you for putting me on the ear.
So we're gonna have a Zoom link with Dominic, TDC at 9:15.
Because today is also Reduced VAT Day.
Of course,
Oh,
and
A lot of things happening today.
Dominic did message me, and I did say the technical stuff relate to Jamso, but I didn't know he was going to call
Yeah,
me.
we would have gone live.
Yes, but these things happen.
Live is better than not going anywhere at all.
Exactly.
See,
Yes.
this is true.
At 9:15.
Guys,
Okay, Dominic.
So we'll catch
Talk
you
to
at
later.
9:15
You have
then,
the link.
Dominic.
You have the link, right?
No, you'll have to send
Okay,
it
I'll
to
send
me.
it to you. Okay, all right.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
See you guys
See-
at 9:15.
Definitely.
Someone, wow. So St. Xanivis Times message. It says, "Good morning, Island Tea."
You're not going to read that entire thing. That thing is at least 5
I
paragraphs.
know, just a bit.
What is it
skim.
about?
It says, "What's your view on?" And it's talking about Kim Collins there, and it's talking. They give a whole thing about. So they said that they would like our feedback. Perhaps we could take time during the break, read
And
it,
definitely give
and
a
then,
feedback?
Yeah, but it's a long comment, as they say.
and then they've also sent another one. So we will definitely read that on the break and give you guys our comments.
Yeah. Also, guys, that they had the press conference for the People's Labour Party just a few days ago. I know in the news there has been discussion about the development bank. We have had the statements by the Prime Minister indicating that development bank was in an unstable position. I actually tried, this morning to get some of the clips.
Were you
I
successful?
searched, yes.
Yay.
So I tried to give a fair balance, what the Prime Minister would have said and also what the Honorable Timothy Harris would have said, recognizing that both of them were ministers of finance and in charge. But one is in charge of development bank now, and the other one was in charge of development bank then.
So before and after.
Yeah, so let's see. And I want, to be fair, what the callers have to say on this. Which argument or which side do you see being the clearer of the two?
Yeesh.
So Jamsa, I think I sent it in. I mark it 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You're setting exams for the callers.
Yes.
And CXC results came out yesterday.
Yes, they did. I mean, we could touch that afterwards as well, but I am so excited about so many things that are going on. The cricket,
I can
the
tell.
CXC, this. So,
Okay.
yes. So clip 1.
Yeah, I have to set it up.
No problem.
all
Yeah.
right.
So CXC results came out yesterday, and I saw persons posting on the WhatsApp, the Facebook, social media on a whole, and persons are proud of their results, and I want to say congratulations to all of those persons who did well during the examination period this year. Of course, kudos to the teachers, the parents, the principals, all inclusive,
The tutors.
friends and family.
Because some persons still went and they did like outside tutoring or
Yes,
lecturing.
indeed. So I really want to say congratulations to those students. I mean, I would have communicated with some of my students who sat the law examination unit 1 for the Cape. So far, I've heard all passes.
Congrats.
So I am hoping
to you and your students.
Yeah, they really pull through. I really want to see the entire class results, which I would see hopefully today, and then I could, see how everything goes. But all in all, I'm really satisfied with the performance that the students.
Good. Well, I saw an article yesterday afternoon saying that they had to stagger the results because I think, of course, every year it happens, the site crashed because everybody rushed on to get results at the same time.
So what they did the 6 farmers first and then the 5th farmers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean,
makes sense.
enough.
I think there's less.
Yeah.
There are less 6 farmers than 5th farmers.
Yes. And so persons was so excited in that moment in 6 when people, and there was
do we have some statement from the deputy prime minister, who is Minister of Education?
Well, I can't recall any. I know there was what you call that, there was a press conference yesterday with CXC. They were here in St. Kitts and Nevis, so they had their launch of the results and giving an overview of the performance within the Caribbean.
Okay.
So I am not aware if he spoke at that. Possibly, I'm not sure because I didn't get a chance to listen to that press conference in its entirety. I saw certain clips of it, and during that, I didn't hear him. But perhaps he might have spoken. I don't know at this time.
I saw a student from Guyana with 23 grade 1s and 4 grade 2s. I'm really hoping that they staggered those exams because 27 subjects.
Yeah, it's quite
Why and
a
to
lot.
What? And that poor
Whatever
child.
I was reading an article last night. That reminds me, I was reading an article on Flipboard last night.
Yes.
An American woman moved to Italy to live with her boyfriend, right? So she was cataloging a lot of the eye-opening differences. And one of the differences she said is the fact that in the U.S., and that's probably where we get this from too, they're obsessed with going to college. And she said, as Italy, she said her boyfriend, he basically apprenticed with, he's a chef. So he apprenticed at, I think, a restaurant. So he knows wine tasting and all those kinds of things. And over there, they're not as obsessed with you having to go to college. It's like it's about living life passionately and to the fullest, without necessarily being obsessed with running off to college. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
It's very Italian.
Yeah,
based on what I've seen. I guess, but I usually think that's just movies.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, everyone's path is different. No path is the same, and I don't want us to create. But I wouldn't want us to create a scenario where persons feel as though everyone's path is the same, because we all have different paths. You understand? And there's no right way to get to some place. You understand? And so, in certain aspects, as it is presently, you would have to do the academics. In certain aspects, you could apprentice. You could be successful just by apprenticeship. So whatever path you take, once you are able to reach your destination and once you're able to accomplish what you want to accomplish, that's okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think, but I honestly think that exam system probably came from the UK.
It probably did.
Yeah,
it does.
A-levels, O-levels, that's a UK thing. The US has SATs and LSATs and.
But the US system too has its own challenges as well with the SATs. And
but I think the liberal arts tradition is better for the US, because like when I went to college, I had to take what was basically a philosophy course at a music school. They call it contemporary issues, but it was a very so it's like and you're thinking, well, what does this have to do? But trust me,
helped.
It does. It helps.
My sister did computer science, and she had to do philosophy.
But I think in various disciplines here in the Caribbean too, that you have choices. You have electives, where it is that you have the choice to pick certain courses, a number of them outside of your major. So I think that opportunity presents itself. What might be the issue is whether or not we have a wide variety of courses or areas of study that would facilitate certain disciplines. But in law, for example,
I was just about to ask you.
I had the opportunity, if I wanted to, in my final year, to do out-of-faculty courses, as we said. So I would have, I did criminology and criminal justice in the social sciences. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, in my first year, they made me do English and political science. So, yeah.
See?
But I
That's-
figure
that
like
sounds-
both of them tie back because the English that we did was basically learning, I guess, about fallacies and where, words came from. So the whole Latin aspect of it, which is helpful because most of our legal terminology stems from there. So,
Yes.
but I would have loved to do a cross-faculty course. That would have
Yeah,
been
the opportunity was there.
Well,
so
I shouldn't say would have loved to because those were something like what you did, though.
Yeah.
It always surprised me that the British never had that kind of liberal arts type approach to a tertiary education.
Yeah.
Because a lot of I've met Brits, so a lot of them went to the US just for that. Because and when I found, I said, really, they don't. Because you kind of thought that some of those North American traditions, especially that one, came from Britain, but it didn't.
Okay. Well,
Let's take a break. Huh?
Let's take a break and then we come back
I have
with
your
the clip.
clips,
Yeah.
Nice.
No problem. Stick and stay, guys.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
The biggest party in sport is back for 2023. And the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots will need your support at Warner Park. CPL will be bigger, better and louder than ever before. And this year, the Patriots are ready to bounce back and claim the title once again. The games are between the 23rd and 27th of August. Get your tickets now at cpl220.com or at Warner Park. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Studied hard at school, didn't wanna be a fool, but you're still not in the game. Girlfriend living large, big house and car, that's because she's in the game. Life seems real tough, bills keep going up, and you're still not in the game. It's not that hard for all that to change, it's time to get in the game. You have to be in it to win it. Super Lotto, in it to win it. Super Lotto, in it to win it. Super Lotto, you have to be in the game. Only $6 to play, so play today. Only $6 to play, so play today. Only $6 to play, so play today. You have to be in the game.
Get your tickets from Caribbean Lottery retailers island-wide.
Hey, this is your boy, Super Handy Andy, with your Super Handy Andy deals at Hustle's Building Center for the month of August. 15-gallon black storage container was $127.02, is now $107.97. LED spotlight was $77.10. Get it now for $66.05. Black Farmer's Oil Lantern was $67.84, is now only $57.66. Fire extinguisher was $115.78, is now just $98.42. Super handy Andy deals at Hustle's Building Center for the month of August. Making home improvement easy.
Okay, we're back. Yes, so we have so
under the table.
we have the clips. So we're gonna play them. We're gonna hear what both parties would have said, and then we would invite callers to weigh in what their views are. So let's hear what the clips say, starting with number one.
Prime Minister, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, says the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has taken several steps that have steadily led to the stabilization of the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis and the St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Fund. Prime Minister Drew, who holds the ministerial portfolios for finance and stated from the onset that there were some improprieties that pointed to of funds at the Development Bank under the former Team Unity administration. The Prime Minister also reported that the hemorrhaging of the fund by the previous government had put the Social Security Fund in a poor financial state. While appearing on Freedom FM's Issues program on Thursday, Prime Minister Drew said the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis borrowed close to $120 million from Social Security, and Development Bank was so badly managed it's not in a position to pay Social Security back.
It's not?
Okay, so that was the news from ZIZ, giving an overview of what the Prime Minister would have said. And now we have the statements by the Prime Minister directly. Clip 2.
The Development Bank owes Social Security $119 million, $921,959.78. 119 million, almost 120 million, owed to the Social Security. None of this money was borrowed under the new administration. This is what we met. The last time any money was paid to Social Security under the former administration was January 2022, and the amount paid was a meager $200,000. The amount that Social Security is supposed to be paid is $697,000 per month, but they were paying $200,000 per month, less than 1/3 to service the debt. And in addition to that, the last time anything was paid was January 2022.
The Prime Minister said shortly after taking office, his administration did the responsible thing of making monthly payments to service the Development Bank's huge loan to Social Security that was left by the former administration.
We started to pay every month from September. So we came in August, we started to pay right away from October, and we started to pay the $200,000. Again, Social Security had no money. I mean, not Social Security, Development Bank had no money. The bank was on the verge of collapse. I couldn't say that to the country, for people to lose confidence and run on the bank and basically sink the bank. That would have been the worst scenario. I had to put the country's interest above immediate political interest or any other interest. The immediate interest was, let us save Development Bank.
In June 2023, the government increased its payment to Social Security to $250,000, and according to the Prime Minister, the payments will be increased further to $300,000 per month. Now, Prime Minister Drew said he is proud to declare.
Okay, so those were some of the statements made by the Prime Minister, the Honorable Terence Drew. If we could have clip number 3, being played.
In relation to the bank, quickly, it's very difficult sometimes to follow Dr. Drew because Dr. Drew doesn't speak from logic. I don't think he understands his role. He doesn't understand the economy. He doesn't understand the finances. He doesn't understand how the bank works. He says there'll be a run on the bank. But the Development Bank is not like Bank of Commerce and Royal Bank. You have run when customers go for their deposit, which the bank would have already lent out. So they can't meet your demand now. That is why the central bank, as the regulator, set a percentage of your deposits that you can lend out. They call it a prudential guidelines. Once you lend more than this, you put the bank at risk. Development Bank, not like that. People may put up certain deposits in support of their loan and so on, but it is not a deposit bank. So nobody could run on the bank. They go to the bank essentially for loan. A lot of us have a little bit of money in the bank, but we ain't getting a loan from them. There's a difference, and Dr. Drew doesn't understand that. And he certainly does not understand that development banks everywhere were created to provide support to the unbankable class in the country. The farmers. Ambassador Powell was there when the Development Bank was formed. It was the farmers. It was the parents who could not go to Royal Bank and Barclays Bank and get a loan to put their children into university, because the banks wanted what we the poor people didn't have. Collateral, land and house and life insurance, which we from the poorer class never really have.
Yeah, there's another one, number 4, and I tried to cut it because then he went into, it was a press conference, so he had other things, so number 4.
Bank, as a government wholly owned entity, is responsible for pursuing policy decisions on behalf of the government. And some of them are risky, because when you are lending to a vulnerable class, your exposure will be greater. When, for example, there was COVID-19 and the central bank said to the banks, give a little relief, we asked the Development Bank to extend the relief longer than that mandated for the other commercial banks, because we said it must be in sync with the compassion of the government, and we wanted to provide relief. Any debt incurred at the Development Bank would have been for these things. People, and we all know some of them, they get their loans, they go away and study, they don't pay back the bank because they figure it's government. And once government is in it, people figure that it should be easier, and they do not always act the way we would like them to do. He talk about millions of dollars. Well, he must ask how much of that was for housing. How much of that were for other programs? And indeed, it was a consolidation of many types of loans that the government itself asked the Development Bank to sustain long before Team Unity, because the bank was formed, I think, since the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, and been doing these things. When Dr. Drew attempts to create a scare or to scandalize somebody, it tells me he is out of his depth. He doesn't understand the realities of the very organization. When he says he stabilized, what does he mean? Is this a one-man show or 10-man in one? How can he, as an external party, stabilize the bank and not the board of directors? And what did he do? He transferred some $10 to $15 million that our cabinet had approved for the Development Bank, because where would the government bank get money? From borrowing and then lending at a higher cost than that for which it borrowed. That's how you get the money. Or your shareholder, in this case the government, invests money. And we, the government, had secured, for example, Fresh Start funds, some $5 million to the government of Venezuela, put it in the bank for the bank to help ordinary people get their businesses started. So there's no stabilization necessary in relation to the bank. It's just for the government to do its duty as its shareholder of the bank, as the entity that would have requested the bank to pursue certain socioeconomic policies. And then you ask yourself why he chose development.
Okay.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And you guys say we don't have political debates here. It's not even campaign season.
Yes. Yeah, but the thing is, the rub is to actually get them to get on a stage and, do that.
That would be, as long as they can do that and not bring a Trump version of it, I'm all for it. I would love to see political debates.
Imagine having a political debate on issues like this,
But it would be good, because then at that point in time, everybody is they're, like Jamsa said, they're on their feet, they're thinking, and the audience is receptive, so that, you could sift through the issues right then and there.
What you thought about his
We'll take the clips.
Well, he's always man is always on point. I mean, you can't take the fiscal, financial, economics thing from him. That's his.
But see, that is
that's his wheelhouse,
doctorate.
and he's also
and Dr. Drew is medical, so
yeah, and he's also a great speaker. So,
So, based on what you would have heard there, are you of the opinion, based on, because you don't have all the facts, but based on the statements that would have been made, are you of the opinion that the bank perhaps was really in a red? Do you think that?
Well, even if the bank was in the red, I think Drew kind of mishandled his comments because he makes a good point. It's not a commercial bank like a run on the bank. You can't have a run on a development bank. In the same, So he made a good point there, I thought.
I think he also highlighted in the minds of persons the role of development bank as well. When you put it that it's not like a bank of commerce.
That was a very good. That was a very good point.
I thought that was a good point to make the distinction.
What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
I think
where do you think the bank is?
We have a caller?
No.
Oh no. Mm-mm. Oh well. When I heard the news based on the Prime Minister's statement, I was really, alarmed to the situation because it's really, if that was the situation, then it really makes a citizen, regardless of who it is, concerned if you really are concerned about the finances of the country and the operations of the country. But when I heard the statements made by the Dr. Timothy Harris, it made you put a little perspective to it. I'm not saying that it was maybe perfectly run, because we know that there were allegations made as relates to approvals of some loans and stuff like that. But I think in and of itself, given the nature of the bank, giving us a look at how the bank operates as a bank where it is not really, based on his statement, one that is heavily financed by deposits, but by using the monies to help and develop the country. And, it's a different arrangement than it would be from, he made mention of some, those other banks.
And what about the use of Social Security funds?
Well, he would have indicated the reasons behind it, and that I think, if I'm correct, he alluded to the fact that it might not have been the first time that was done.
Oh, okay.
I think that's, if I could remember clearly. And so, again, he used the situation during COVID, that a lot of the, those statutory bodies were basically left without monies because operations had ceased due to COVID-19, and he spoke to the solid waste, he spoke to SCASPA, and he spoke to others. He even made mention briefly to NHC, I think. And so he showed where it is that monies would have been used for.
So they kind of didn't really have a choice.
Based on his statements, if those statements are true, But then we hear of situations where it is that, with the Peace and Development Bank and those allegations of Development Bank being used, and then it brings the point to me, if there really was some mismanagement to the point that persons are criminally or liable for, some sort of mismanagement of the funds, then it is for those persons to be brought to justice. And I think if you are saying that things were done wrong to the point that persons have done something grossly incorrect, then he who asserts must prove, and in the absence of any action to take recourse, I think that would lead persons to think that, those statements are possibly, they're given less merit, they're given less force. And so, again, if it is we were mature enough as a country, as a people, to have really debates on issues, I like the fact that,
we were able to get the back and forth, right?
Yeah,
because
at least.
Then you could sit, listen, make points, and then, like you said, mature enough and sensible enough to say, well, this doesn't really add up. There might be more to it.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when it comes to our political structure and our political discourse, and of course it's similar in other countries as well with our size and so, and our realities, it's mainly about who's popular, which party your family would have supported in time gone by, rather than really the issues facing the country and who of the two or more candidates are more suitable given track record, given personal performances
and
future plans. It more becomes who's more popular, and at the end of the day, the most popular doesn't necessarily
it's not necessarily the person that has the best, the country's best interest at heart.
And then at the same time, I think, at the same time as I think it's all a democracy. So it's what the people want at the end of the day. But it's just, you look at it and, because if persons feel as though, well, regardless that they're going to be in power, then they are not going to be as concerned with making sure that they do what they ought to do, because at the end of the day, if they do right or if they do wrong, they'll be voted in regardless.
Don't you see a change in that though? Like, I've heard a lot of young persons say, I'm not my mom, I'm not my grandmother, I gonna vote for who could basically put something in my hand or put something in my pocket type of thing. Because I usually surround myself with young persons, and their way of thinking is not the same as maybe 2 generations back or even a generation back, where, persons would be like, well, my family is Labour, my family is PAM, and blah, 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 whatever. I find more young persons are able to think for themselves and make a decision based on that. What's your view on that?
I think it is slowly changing. I think more and more it will become, at least I hope, with the access to information, the access with the advancement of technology and the like, and education, that I think that perhaps we will make more informed decisions, as a collectorate, as an electorate, we will make more informed decisions. I mean, it's left to be seen, but I think we are slowly getting there. Especially, I think what would matter, it would be when it is time for us to really use our creativity to really push forward the economy. We have known that over the years, due to CBI, our economy has basically been afloat, where it is that,
It's been propped up. It's been carried.
But God forbid, if it is that CBI, goes, I think that it would now lend us to expect of leaders to be creative, because no longer would you have this resource that comes in regardless of how creative you are. So I think, therefore, it will push persons to listen to the debate, listen to the issues, because at the ground level, it would affect them.
Exactly.
Yes, we have a caller.
For yourself. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Thanks. How are you?
Okay, peace be to you. I guess Azard, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
What I really called today is to let my voice in relation to the topic at hand. Both persons, both former prime minister, would have said what happened. Situation financial that has to happen. But one thing we should understand, the government was elected to do the best thing for the people, the interest of the country, of the people. And if we have to listen to both of them, there's an issue. Now, for some of you who may not be old enough to remember, some people say, oh, you're going back. But sometimes you have to go back to the past to know where we are and where we're going. If you go out and do your research, back when the People's Action Movement was in power, I don't think we used to have all these issues. Therefore, the People's Action Movement philosophy, when it comes to the development and the advancement, not only of the country, but of the citizens themselves, is completely different from the Labour Party and the People's Labour Party. Even if you have to look at it, coming from the Labour Party in 2015, you see what would have left. But when we went into the unity construct, or the unity government, part of it was the People's Action Movement and CCM. And if you look at those times, you would have seen certain changes, but we have to recognize that the Prime Minister has the final say. And even though the People's Action Movement might have had certain things they want to get done, you would have realized the final say would have happened. But I just want to let us focus on the issue at hand. So let us realize, as good as he may be with economics and accounting and so forth, the function of the government is to make sure everything runs smoothly for the best interests of the nation and for the people of St. Candisie. And because we have this discussion now, there was a breakdown of failure. And even now we have a new Prime Minister. Still, there's certain action that was taken. Even though some people might say they might be good, it's still not reaching where we want. So I will leave it to the Azard is there, and I think I have Jam Mr. Homer know certain things when it comes to the People's Action Movement. And maybe you all could compare and contrast, and you will see the best party that was able to govern and manage our country to make it at least the number one in the Caribbean, and to a certain extent, the world has become as small as we are. You will see it came during the People's Action Movement. And I think it's about time for people wake up and understand we want the best for our people, our nation, financially and otherwise, and to us to start generating wealth for our citizens. And the best party to do that is the People's Action Movement. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope what I said will kind of put everything into one bottle or fist, and when you open it, you realize the best choice for what you're discussing there. But at the end of it all, the government is responsible for bringing good things and make sure the country is stable, financially and otherwise, and the citizens have a good prosperous life they want to put it that way. There might be some challenges, but that's the function of the government. Thank you very much for listening, and you God bless you all. God bless St. Candisie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I have a comment here from someone that says, but why wait till CBI is no longer viable? Part of every government's responsibility is to ensure resilience and sustainability, and that approach is neither, and it's short-sighted. When we consider new ventures, it creates new job opportunities and a buffer should one initiative fail. And I think that's brilliant, because we really and truly have been very dependent on CBI for too long, and another sector has not been developed to an extent where if CBI fails, we can fall back on that.
Yeah, and definitely we would have.
Lost that call?
We would definitely have, and I said before to myself, we would definitely be in a situation where it is that we would expect more of our representative, of those persons. And that's why at times I'm so, when we talk about promises made during the election, that's why sometimes I hold the point that, you don't know, I understand you don't know everything, that's the situation, but you should be careful when you're making promises during that time. Go ahead, Carlo.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
This is stupid people and the road talking. We call it there before. We call before. When you talking politics, talking a party, we talking about better for the people and who can run the country better and handling finances. We're talking about what party gonna represent. People want good life, not the party politics, young man. If you're talking to get back on a political ticket, better in the forum for it. The forum for that forum presently right now is getting to know about the economy and the money. What nonsense is that here talking? Have a good day. This is Jamdong talking here.
Thanks for your call,
Thank you for your call, Jamdong.
There's something I wanted to comment on. I think I mentioned it to y'all, but it needs to be said.
Yeah.
No, I understand. I understand that party supporters are going to go to press conferences and so. But I always feel that a press conference is supposed to be a sober affair, and you shouldn't. People should be, Yeah, people should be keeping the cheering and all this stuff to a minimum. You know, it ends up sounding very.
I know
rehearsed.
other persons who are professionals in that field would agree with you with that.
Yeah.
That the press conferences, if it's a press conference, should be for the press, and if you have persons in the audience, is more of a structured manner,
right?
Rather than the
right.
Yeah, but we know.
To each his own, honestly.
Why it was like
how
that?
Can you stop it?
But it's our culture.
culture.
We shouldn't say it's our culture. Well, it's
our
something
political.
it's something we've been doing, and it needs to stop.
Yeah.
Well, how? Because even if you just say this is a press conference, and of course you issue media passes, persons are still going to turn up. They're either going to be outside.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know some of them are going to be there, but
I don't
at the
think
same
his
time,
issue is the fact that persons turn up. I think his issue
is the carrying on.
Yeah, they have to.
And I'm totally in agreement with that.
You know.
Yeah,
but it kind of takes away from the substance because you're like, should I take this? Did they plan this?
Is this propaganda? Or is this
Mm-hmm.
is this true public outreach? You know?
Yeah, but I mean, I think too. When you look at the former prime minister, it's technically his style of doing things. Because one thing that I realize with him is that usually in all way, it comes down to the politics, if you catch what I'm saying. So he performs in a way that it comes down at the end of the day political. So even in the press conference, even though it's a political one, the way in which more like you're saying like a convention kind of manner, mini convention, or maybe like a sub convention style, in a sense, or even maybe a town hall, rather than a press conference.
But it's something that, and you see it across the board with different things where you have successive governments using government resources to and facilities to. I mean, there's a blurred line between. When I say resources, I'm not saying.
Money when you mentioned that, right? I mean, what came to my mind as soon as you mentioned that Jamster, which is an initiative that is happening right now. The school initiatives where public schools are getting the $250, and I've had parents who message me, telling me that the requirement is that you fill out a form. In the form, you have the date of birth of the child. You have the constituency in which the child lives. So in my mind, I am thinking...
No, that's wrong.
You understand? In my mind, I'm thinking perhaps it is to have knowledge of when the child is 18 and in what constituency that child resides, or in what constituency that child or parent will be, affected. So it's...
Hello.
Hi, good day. Sorry. Caller? Yes.
Yeah, Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Culture.
And a queen.
Yes.
How are you?
Sorry, Culture. We were just.
Candisie.
Were you here? Perhaps you could give back to what we're discussing now too as well. We were just talking about, you heard the show before, right? We were talking about the development bank situation, and then we went on just when you were on the call about the back to school initiative by the government, the $250. But in that form, you're required to not only give the date of birth of the child, but also the constituency in which the child is from.
You have to give that on the application form?
Yeah, based on, I didn't fill out the form, but based on parents who have been filling out the form, that is what I
should have clicked on the link to see it, because I kept seeing that link floating around.
Let me come in. So who's supplying the $250? The government?
Yes.
Yeah, I assume so. That
okay, I'm gonna come down to that detail. But first let me correct something in the studio there. Jamster are gonna have to demote you, to Prince.
Oh.
Because this morning you don't even know you're St. Lucia Kings, and you are a king.
Oh. You're getting it.
Candice had to pull you up.
No, because I kept seeing SLK, right? And I was thinking, isn't it St. Lucia Zooks?
And you see that culture, he didn't even realize that people changed the name so long ago.
Yeah.
One point down. 1 point down, huh?
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay, now let me start and then come down to the question that Azard just asked me to go. Let me start first with down there. Yeah, this thing about which what was the question? Which constituency you from or what? That?
Yes.
Well, right away, you see where they're going down the road. That's politics.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm saying it just like how I know it, and I see it. Because if you look at it, the amount of people, whether you're from constituency 1 to 9, 10, 11, 15, or whatsoever it is, as long as you know that constituency is a strong supporter of not the Labour Party that is in, problem starts right there. And it should not be that way. A government is for the whole entire country. It ain't one set of people need to eat. Everybody need to eat, and everybody need to get a job as long as you are qualified. Give you the position. And if you're not qualified for that job, find something else to do to get money. But don't go thief and sleep and lie down.
You know, one of the other things I noted, and somebody called in, I think it was Austin Edinburgh was on Issues yesterday, and they were discussing the same form. And somebody called in and said that they find that the issuance of the form or the funds are a bit late because most parents would have budgeted and started buying stuff earlier, you know,
That's
because
right.
you can't wait, especially where books are concerned. And so they wanted to know how that would work. Like, would they be able to recoup that money? And I'm still waiting to hear the answer to that. Because in all honesty, this should have been something that they issued when school closed, like maybe the month after, because most parents nobody knows that they're going to be getting a government handout of sorts. So you would budget and then you start to purchase your stuff bit by bit so that by the time September gets here or the last week in August, you're not only prepared, but you're not in that big rush and that last minute rush. So I want to know, like, how do parents who have already spent that money, how can they recoup?
Sorry, let me come in.
Go right ahead.
That is when someone do not have a plan for the home. So therefore, they don't know what's going to happen next week when they should know. School closed in July. And like you said, Candice, that is one of the first things they should have told parents so that when the parents get the pay, they know how to budget the money for this and that.
You know, Culture, I think you made a good point, you know, and then thinking about it, it seemed like there is no plan. Unless the plan is to gather as much information as they can during this time to be used in a time later.
No, Azard, if you tell me when I wake up in the morning, I ain't look outside yet, and you tell me, boy, don't come outside, you know, out there rain falling hard and out there flooding, the street flooding. And when I get up on my bed, I go by the door and I look out and dust out there on the street flying, the place dry. You think you could fool me again lunchtime? Yeah, happen. And that is what I find, with all due respect to Dr. Joe. Nobody on earth is perfect. And some of us sin by omission and some sin by commission. In the first month when he get in here, remember what you said? That the country is in red. Red, you know. But how come now he's saying that they go in there and they had to pay this, that, and pay here this amount of money? If you meet a country where there is no money.
But when he said that, when he said that he met the country in red,
financially red.
Yes, wasn't a couple months after, didn't you receive persons receive a double salary?
Me?
No, not you. Persons in the government. Government receive a double salary.
Yeah.
So again, it's and when you make these kind of statements, persons feel as though you're being political or you're being against the government, but it's not.
Yes, we're getting a lot of questions about that on the chat, as if politics is not part of our livelihood and we didn't discuss the weather and sports before.
It's more of a saying that, you know, we are persons who I think could reason, and the information is coming to say one thing and the actions are saying another. So it is what?
But look here. Now, people who accuse people, malign people, people with their opinion, they are biased on one side, because everybody should be able to tell the friend or the neighbor, if they see them doing something wrong, stop it. Don't do it. So that means they're against them because they tell them stop it. People must think different, man. Clear up your conscience, have a clean heart.
Yeah.
And then nobody would walk down the road and fall over the cliff.
And
we got to stop that foolishness regardless to who it is. You see them doing wrong, Tell them stop it.
Call a
Don't
spade
read
a
it.
spade.
Well, of course, I'm going now because other people want to get in. But listen this, last thing. Country is in economically red. But then 15 tourists went away from here to United Nations, 14 Kitchen and a Chinese. Where they get the money from? Thank you all for listening. I could say more. But this is about country. Let everybody build up our country. Forget the politics, man. Move that aside.
Agreed.
Politics will come when the time comes. And when the time comes, everybody have a right to talk politics. But not now. We want the country go forward. Otherwise, everybody going to go snorkel in the sea.
Thank you, Culture.
You all have a good Friday.
You too.
Yes, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
And the king.
he redeeming himself nicely.
Okay,
yes,
then.
thank you so much. Yes.
Found the sound 98.9 Win FM.
Enjoy your summer with the Bank of Nevis Limited. It's that time, and the bank has the perfect summer loan package for you. Take a vacation, enjoy a staycation, advance yourself academically, or prepare your children for back to school. It's your choice with up to $30,000 unsecured loan with an attractive low interest rate. Additionally, up to 5 years to repay. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Offer ends September 30th, 2023. Bond strong.
The biggest party in sport is back for 2023. And the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots will need your support at Warner Park. CPL will be bigger, better and louder than ever before. And this year, the Patriots are ready to bounce back and claim the title once again. The games are between the 23rd and 27th of August. Get your tickets now at cpl220.com or at Warner Park. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Watch the trail of the insect stop when you spread a web up. Flying, crawling, insects are falling when you spread a web up. Nothing comes close to Bob. Bob, the number one brand, serious get Bob.
Hey, caller, we're back. Island T.
Good day.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, morning.
I was wondering when I would hear from you.
Why were you expecting to hear from me this time?
Because we hear
It's
from
right
you
up
daily.
your alley.
Yes, and we've been
We-
discussing some issues that I know
Would
as
pique-
Candisie
would
said.
pique your interest.
Yes.
Yes. Well, one of the things I heard is, heard you mention this morning is about the development bank.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, one of the most damning pieces of information that came out was this thing about, I think the Prime Minister mentioned that someone was collecting $500 to $700, over $700,000. Was it a week or a month or something like that?
I did hear a bit
Uh-huh.
of that, but I'm not sure if I heard it in the clip.
Right.
I wasn't
Now,
in the clip. I didn't. So
What
perhaps
kind
you
of
could.
credible
Yeah.
institution, financial institution, does that?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the main things about the bank that people, I think, were upset or concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of oversight,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that in particular needs to be explained by whoever was in charge then. I mean, I can't have that.
Yeah, Mr. Memahan, you see how you brought out that aspect. That is what we're encouraging, debate, we're encouraging discussions as to, we've heard from the Prime Minister, we've heard from the former Prime Minister, and as you have brought out that issue of accountability and stuff like that, I think this is what this show is about, to get persons
But you
to
notice
discuss,
everybody has a different thing that stands out for them?
So I like the thing.
Well, the thing is, there is a report apparently, and so based on that, we would expect that certain things would, first of all, that those who are, like I said, in position then to lead things should have an explanation. This should be explained. It shouldn't just be swept under the carpet like that. And secondly, the country needs to be assured that something like this can't happen again. Whatever new measures, processes are introduced, that this don't happen again. You know, you're not talking about a little bar shop or a private company. You're talking about a public institution, financial institution, right? That really should not happen. And I really would have liked at the press conference, and that's the other thing, at these press conferences, the people, the press, or whoever else is attending, should be so in tune with what's going on that they ask the appropriate questions. They let all, and I'm talking all sides now, both the opposition and the government side, get away with too many unanswered questions, too many things are left hanging, and they're not probing enough. I find anyway. You know,
that's true. The question.
They're not brave enough. I don't understand why.
Okay, so someone sent me a message based on something I said earlier. So the person says, no, in the first days he said that he met money there. No, he did not say he met it in red, which now I'm thinking, yeah, because at first he said that it was good. He said money was there. He was even on the narrative. And then later down...
They did an audit.
Okay.
Or was it before the audit?
I don't even know. I know later down he mentioned the comments so that it was in red, and then later down we got a double salary.
No, you see,
initially there was uncertainty about that. Okay, I remember actually saying there was this issue of whether there was in fact a deficit rather than a surplus, and I remember calling in one time and saying that somebody credible like the financial secretary should set the position straight.
Right.
Okay? That didn't happen, and so I guess we're still at that as to what exactly was the position when the new government came in. Okay? And really and truly that should not be. And that leads me to this whole idea that of the integrity in public life. One aspect of that, yes, there has been progress in the right direction insofar as that is concerned, but one important aspect of that has not been worked on, and that is freedom of information. And that is why you have so much speculation and propaganda out there. If people could get information, okay, from the source, from credible sources, people would know exactly what to make of the things that we see happening.
Exactly.
So
I agree with you there.
I really hope that Prime Minister don't think that we've arrived insofar as our governance is concerned, and that this needs to be cleaned up as quickly as possible. Get the freedom of information stuff out there, appoint whatever commissioners or whatever it is that's needed. Okay? One of the things which I noticed, while it's very good that a government is responsive, we prefer if they are proactive and not reactive. Okay? And I'm getting the impression that, you know, it seems in some instances that the government is winging it. Basically, you know, it's like what used to happen in the past, where you wet your finger and put it up in the air, and depending on how the wind blows, you make a decision. I don't think that's a responsible way to run a government. And, you need a plan and work your plan, okay? Not wing it and govern in an ad hoc way, just putting out fires. I don't think that's a good way to run a government.
I don't think anybody
right?
wants that.
And one of the things I noticed too, the Prime Minister, I think, should not be asking questions of the opposition. Right now, he is the Prime Minister, and people should be asking him questions. The opposition should be asking him questions. I think in the press conference, in his press conference, he ended up asking the ex-Prime Minister a number of questions. I don't think that's a very good approach at all, right? Again, it seems kind of reactive. If you're in campaign mode, yes, you of course you ask questions of your competitors. But in this particular instance, where there's a government in place that is supposed to be governing, no, you don't go like almost marking somebody or looking at somebody's press conference with the view to responding to it. Again, that seems too reactive, right? So I know there's this thing about, well, one of the reasons, for instance, why the ex-Prime Minister Douglas lost power or lost favor with the electorate is that a lot of mud was thrown at him, and some stuck because he did not respond. Okay, and obviously, if you don't respond, people take what is being thrown as gospel truth.
I'm glad you said that. I was going to ask you if that's the reason why you think Dr. Drew responded, because he wants to get his side of the story out there so people would know the difference.
Right. I'm saying that maybe that's the advice he's gotten, that you don't fall into that trap. But you can go overboard with responding to every. I think is Premier Brantley like to make the comment that if you're going up a hill and you stop to throw stone at every barking dog, you never reach to the top.
You never reach.
Right? That's and so you can go overboard. Sure, respond, and I don't think the response should necessarily be from the Prime Minister. I mean, there are lots of people down below him that can respond to these things, right? To me, the leader should be focused on getting his agenda forward and not responding to everything that the opposition says. Leave that for whether the SKNIS or whoever it is to correct the record, the press secretary or whoever, to correct the record. You focus on the governing part of it, right? Because what's important, what's eventually going to be important, if it was all about optics and the press and your communications, the image you put out there, if it was all about that, I think the ex-Prime Minister Harris would still be in power, because he went overboard with all those things, okay? In the final analysis, if you don't make people's lives better, you're going to be in trouble. And so the important thing, I would have thought, would be to concentrate on things that's going to do that. And one of the main things that I think would be doing that is not so much handouts and so on. You have 5 years, okay? Sure, by all means, if you can make people's lives a little better, try and do that. But look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that most persons would prefer that they are able to take care of themselves, whether they're having their business, a thriving business, or having a good paying job, okay, and don't have to run to any politician or constituency rep or whatever to help them get through the day-to-day routines.
Right. Teach
Right?
me to
That
fish.
is the meaning. Okay? A lot of people, I don't think, most people would prefer not to do that.
Exactly.
Right? And so the government should be focused on making sure, as I think you mentioned it sometime this morning, about getting things that would take the place of or supplement things like tourism and the CBI. Okay, that is why, encourage investment, getting investment in the country. Because, you can build 2,400 houses, but it's the people who get these houses going to have to pay for them. And they can't pay for them with government handouts.
Right. You can't subsist on social programs only.
No.
Teach me how to
Right?
fish instead
You
of giving
have
me the
to
fish
get-
all the time.
Right. The basis of all of this has to be a good, working, a thriving, a buoyant economy to support these things. And it is the same with any other capital project, whether it be a high school or whatever. Sure, those things are good, but those pull from the economy rather than put in. Well, certainly in the short term at least.
Right.
Okay? You need things to really spur the economy. And one of the things I thought by now they would have been, really mashing the gas on is this geothermal thing. Because that would be a real game changer. You hear about it, then it subsides, you come again. Really and truly, that would make a huge difference if we could get our energy problem solved. Because that is generally the base of things, right? Mm-hmm. That is what an investor, things like that is what an investor would look at when they're going to set up whatever they want to set up. I think I heard, it was the central bank governor, I think I heard said the other day, for instance, that hotels in Mexico pay so much less for the energy costs than in the rest than the hotels in the Caribbean. That would mean that they can offer the same vacation at a lower cost. In other words, we have to be trying to make ourselves much more competitive than we are currently.
Sure.
And I'm not, unfortunately, at least up to now, I don't see the urgency in attending to those. Yes, you have to put out the fires. People out there are hurting. The impending problem is making sure that their kids go to school and properly equipped, etc. That is bread and butter issue for a lot of people. So yes, you have to address it, but you can't lose sight of the bigger picture. Otherwise, 5 years from now or 4 years from now, you're going to be in trouble.
Back on the
because
starting
when you
mark.
ask the question, are you better off now than you were 5 years ago? The answer had better be yes, because if it's no, the sitting government, the incumbents, will be in trouble.
Yes. Okay. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much
We're
for your
going to take a short
contribution.
break. We're going to take a short break and come back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM. We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
Buster, pour it up, need the thirst quencher in my cup. If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life. Refreshing and nice, and I drink that what we like. Buster, you're full of vibes, living full of color. I know black and white, we do what we like. We live to enjoy life. Buster, pour it up, different flavor. Load it up. If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life. Fruta full of vitamin thing. Real fruit juice, not full of vitamin. Pop open the goodness, just dive in. Fruit every night, fruit every morning.
It's the amazing taste and quality in fruit juice you've come to know and love. Anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Fruta is your tastier, better, healthier choice.
We got the vibes, Fruta. Real, real nice, Fruta.
And for the families, remember to pick up the 1 liter.
And we are back. It's 9:30 exactly. We just got a word from Rams, the sponsors of this day part. So we have a call coming in. Let's take this call.
Awesome. Caller.
Hey, good morning to everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are
Hi,
you?
good morning.
Who won the game last night?
Warriors. I guess you're tuning in late because I had a whole period of excitement about that win.
Watch me. You're too back, baby. Let me hear somebody.
Listen, I back both. I back Patriots and Warriors.
I know who won last night.
Warriors won last night. Amazon Warriors.
See what I mean? You see what and you got the heart to come on with radio station. Ship it back, you know.
Never. 30 years and change.
I already gave her one, you know.
Since last night. Don't make me come in here with the hat.
Anyway, I have some grandchildren.
Exactly. I was just about to call you out. So I'm pretty sure they back both teams as well. Because I back Patriots on Wednesday. And I'm going to back them tomorrow. I have my T-shirt and everything already lined up.
I'm working on Calbone. Calbone said, take your name off your shirt.
Never.
Take my name off your shirt.
And I'm going to post pictures of it too. Because the Wednesday night I had Patriots pictures all over, you know. Azard ain't say a thing when I had up my Patriots flag. Because I have my Patriots flag and everything. He ain't say a word. You see how y'all bias?
No, man. You have been salt in the wound, man.
I have 2 horses in the race, ma'am.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yesterday, I called into Edinburgh show.
Oh, you did?
You did. I heard you.
Oh, yes. I think I don't know the first or the second.
Yes.
Twice, yes, I heard
about
you.
The same ad hoc planning.
Yes, there seemed to
what we
be
need
a lack
is
of planning.
long-term development plan. So we have one, the manifesto said that's not a development plan, mister. Otherwise, you put yourself in more jam. Because if what you promise you don't deliver, then you're not fair. You do it fair, right? You're not dependable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he was making some disparaging remarks. By the way, I'm sure some of you remember that the NAP, the CCM borrowed $50 million for the housing. You remember that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, $50 million to do the housing thing. And the government borrowed some. And Dr. Drew, he's being ill-advised. You understand? Because you're depending on these people to give you the information, the correct information. But if they themselves twisting it, they make it harder for him. Because a lot of the things that the farmer PM say, well, if anybody were paying attention, they would know.
Okay, Miss Henry, I'm gonna have to leave it there because we're ready for fireproof. Sorry.
No,
yes.
Our TDC.
Okay, no fireproof. TDC there.
Good morning to all the firemen.
The fireman is
Kim
right
Collins,
here.
I'll call back later.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
Later as in next week. Anyway. Good morning, officer.
Good
And
morning.
welcome
Good morning.
back.
Yes. Pleasure to be back.
I was looking for you last night at the game. I saw some of your colleagues. I was like, well, where is Tim? And I was looking for you in photos of the fire that happened behind me recently. Because I was like, was Timothy behind there making noise as well? But it's good to have you in studio. It's been a while.
It's nice to be here.
How are you doing?
Always. I'm doing fine.
What has your week been like?
My week it's been fairly okay.
Okay,
fairly
good.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So this morning you're going to take us through approaches, perhaps proactive approaches in the event that there's a fire.
Right.
Yes.
Things we can do or things we should not do, etc.
Okay.
So fireproof in its fullest sense.
In its fullest sense.
All right, take it away.
Yeah, recognizing what has occurred and what has been occurring throughout the region, especially in Guyana, with those news articles. Really sad.
Yeah, so I first want to say, condolences to family, the Fire and Rescue Service, to the family of your neighbor, Ms. Deborita Weeks, and extending to her family and to her friends as well. That was a very tragic incident, and we as a fire department, it saddens our hearts to see someone lose their life, especially when it relates to fire. So we want to continue to educate the public on ways that they can be fire safe within the home, within the workplace, etc. So we just want to extend our condolences to their family, to our family.
Yes, we actually touched on it, and it's amazing because you always think that you're so on the ball until something happens. And so I like to say prevention is better than cure.
It is.
So let us know what we can do, as always, what we can do to prevent the fire.
Right. All right, so to start the discussion, we want to touch on in terms of if there is any fire whatsoever, do not delay calling the fire services. All right, so typically some persons they encounter a small fire and they think, hey, let me try to get it extinguished. But sometimes that fire grows on them. They're not able to effectively extinguish it, and that fire, as I just said, it gets bigger. Right. And it's only then they seek, they remember, hey, I need to call the fire department. So we are encouraging persons, the first sign of any fire, call us, let us know. At least you know that we are on our way. The guys and them, they waste no time in terms of getting to their gears and to the fire truck. We stop whatever we are doing and we make that priority in terms of responding to fire calls. Yes, so the other one is if you have an elevator of some sort. Elevators are mostly found in workplaces, hotels, etc. You have a fire-related incident. We don't encourage persons to go in the elevator to get to safety. Persons do become trapped in elevators. And once you're in that elevator trapped and smoke starts to fill that elevator, then it's only a matter of, you have very little time within that space. Smoke would take up all of your oxygen, and sadly, you might not get help in time.
Exactly.
So we encourage persons to use stairs to get out of any building to get to safety.
Smart.
Yeah. Hiding. Now, when it comes to structural fires, especially homes, and you have children involved, encourage your children not to hide. Do not hide when there is a fire. So typical places where persons like to hide is maybe under a bed, or in a cupboard, for example, the closed closet. So we want to encourage persons, refrain from hiding. Find any means possible of getting out of the structure, but do not hide.
And you see it a lot indeed. Thankfully, I've never witnessed it firsthand, but you always see that in movies. And as soon as you said that, I started running through my head all the different incidents I've seen where maybe the child started the fire by accident, and so they run to hide because they know, well, I'm going to get in trouble. So they run under the bed, run in the closet, in a little cupboard. So I actually like that bit of advice there.
Right. Now, another vital information in my mind, if you have, let's say you have a fire in the kitchen, one of the absolute don't throw water on a flammable liquid fire. If you have a let's say oil on fire, don't ever throw water on that fire. That fire would intensify greatly. So you might even see a big fireball going up in the air. And remember, typically over stoves and we have cupboards, etc. So once that fireball reaches the cupboard, then that cupboard starts to burn, and fire essentially would spread throughout the home. So don't ever throw water on flammable liquid fires. It only makes matters worse. It intensifies the fire greatly. You run the risk of getting seriously hurt or damaged. So don't ever throw water on flammable liquid fires. Let's say for example now you get up recognizing that there is fire at the door. We encourage persons to feel the door. If the door is hot, don't open the door, because that is a direct indicator that fire might be right outside the door. So feel the door is hot, find an alternative way of getting out of that room. Don't open the door when it's hot. Fire is most likely to be on the other side of that door.
Mm-hmm.
Something that persons typically do, and I cite firsthand in an exercise that we conducted, where the exercise was a more or less like a real life exercise, where we had some smoke bombs being sent off, and persons, they got out of the building, they evacuated the building in quick time. However, persons were going back into that smoke-filled building for their belongings. So that says to me that I need to encourage persons, once they are outside of a building, do not go back inside for any personal effects whatsoever. You can always get back, whether it is your purse, your passports, because some persons walk out, hey, I have important documents in the house. Let me go back inside for my passport. But hey, a passport can always be replaced. So what cannot be replaced is your life.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Your life.
Wow.
Now, when it comes to the proactive side of fire safety, prevention, as they say, is much better than having to react. Prevention is key. So we asking persons to carry out a fire risk assessment, see the vulnerabilities of your home, of your business, see whether it is any flammable things, objects, you have any stored fuel around the house that doesn't need to be where it is. Make sure that they are stored properly. So do a risk analysis of your home. Feel free to call us as a fire department to come and do an assessment as well. We would ably provide the best means of protecting your home. Now, when it comes to protecting your home, we are asking persons to normalize a fire plan, a fire escape plan. But the reason why we say normalize, that this should be second nature to us now. We have been mentioning it for far too long now. So we're not asking persons to implement one. We are telling you to normalize one. It should be second nature, as I said, right? So go do a fire escape plan, sit down with your family, ensure that they understand how to get out of your home, of your premises. Two ways, whether it's front door, back door, windows can also be used as a escape as well, an exit from a burning building.
Here's a practical question for you.
Sure.
This is a thought experiment I was just doing while you were talking. Let's say you're in your house and you're in your bedroom and a big fire starts. Would it make sense to maybe have a fire extinguisher in your bedroom for a situation like that, where say you come outside and you can start spraying and maybe make your way outside? That would be a good idea.
You can't have too much fire extinguishers.
Okay.
So if you have one by the front door, I like to see extinguishers closest to exits. So if someone gets into the house to assist you, there is one right there so that they can grab to attack. Now, I like what you said as well. I mean, putting one in your bedroom, it does absolutely no harm, no damage. You have one in the bedroom, so when you open that door and there is anything out there that you can safely extinguish, you go ahead and do that. That fire extinguisher can even create a safe path for you to get to the initial exit.
Here's another question. If like we have one in the kitchen, but in a situation, let's say the fire started in the kitchen, you're not in the kitchen, could the heat cause the fire extinguisher to explode? Is there anything is that a thing?
No.
Okay, just checking.
It's a thing in people's mind,
okay.
But I haven't seen any
Thank
facts.
you, because it was a thing in my mind.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. That's why I asked.
Thank you.
I didn't think so, but I said, let me ask.
You never know, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, see?
The type of material that those things are made up of, is really solid material. Fire wouldn't easily burn to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to take a call?
Sure, we can.
Fireproof, you're on. Go ahead, caller.
This is IT. Thanks for taking the call. Blessed Tim Collins there. Okay, extending greetings to your guests in studio. A question, and then we're going to follow up with the next one concerning the fire extinguisher.
Sure.
The recent death because of the fire with the lady, was she home alone, do you know?
She
wasn't. You care to answer that question? Was anyone in the house with her?
She wasn't home alone from as far as I know. I think someone else lived with her.
I'm not hearing clearly.
She was not home alone. She was not home alone. There are certain things regarding the fire that we cannot discuss though, because it's an ongoing investigation. But she was not home alone.
What's the price range? How cheap is a fire extinguisher?
Fire extinguisher, I can't solidify the price right now. However, that you could go to Carib Supply.
Expensive items or expensive items?
They might have a bit of cost to them. However, you when weighing the cost versus your life, yeah. But you could also check other areas, TDC, Hosford. They also sell fire extinguishers as well.
Get that thing on the radio. Yeah. Okay, give thanks.
Most welcome.
Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Tim, you actually have like a minute to wrap up. We have a TDC paid segment coming up next.
No problem at all. Go ahead. All right, so we're encouraging persons to have a fire alarm system. Once that fire alarm system goes off, someone is monitoring the system, then that person monitoring the system would call the fire department right away, the first sign of any fire. Now, having fire extinguishers, you touched on that, having them in your home, and you could put them in strategic areas. That is also important. The installing of smoke detectors. Smoke detectors save lives. They're early warning devices. The slightest traces of smoke, slightest trace of smoke, then they're able to detect that, and they give off a very annoying sound. It's very irritating. You can't miss it. All right. Now, we want persons to practice sleeping with their bedroom door closed. Now, smoke is the number one thing that kills people within a fire. And if your bedroom is kept closed, then it limits the amount of smoke that would initially engulf the house into your room. So sleep with your doors. That is a good practice. Sleep with your bedroom doors closed. Then stemming from that fire by your Candy, it got me thinking. Now, it got me thinking in the sense of smoke-filled building. Typically, homes don't have our type of breathing apparatus that we come with on our fire appliance. However, there are some full face masks with a face shield with HEPA filters. Those, once you put them on, you can actually breathe within a smoke-filled environment. So my thought is, and I am looking seriously into that, getting some of that for my bedroom, my parents' bedroom, my children's bedroom, having that full face mask in the bedroom, so that if anything happens in the night, that is one of the first things you grab to put on your face, and then you can
It's
actually
funny that you
exit.
brought that up, because I sleep with my bedroom closed because of my air conditioning, and my windows are sealed. So I did not know anything about the fire, right? And I don't know how I didn't even hear, because I'm usually a light sleeper. But I didn't hear anything. Like, I heard trucks and I just figured, oh, it's the garbage truck. And I went back to sleep. But as soon as I opened my door the next morning, my entire living room and kitchen was smoke filled. And I was like, there was a fire. And then I saw somebody sent me a message saying Wade's Garden, because you know that little separation of the street, they call over there Wade's Garden, and they call over by me Shadwell Housing.
Yes.
And I realized it was the street right behind me. But my entire house was smoke filled except for the rooms, the bedrooms, because all the doors were closed. So it's funny that you actually gave that as a tip.
Just a point, someone has said that fire extinguishers range from $80 upwards.
Okay, so it's moderately priced. Okay. Well, thank you for those tips.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Azard.
A restful weekend.
And also Jamster.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Fireproof today.
Yes, thank you so much.
And we have TDC up next, giving us some info on the reduced VAT day that we're currently doing today, and I think it's tomorrow. It's the 25th and the 26th, right?
Huh?
You have Dominic. You're
you know
there.
What today be? Today's Friday, you know.
Tell us what today is, Dominic.
Dominic.
I'm doing a radio interview. Second day. Yes, Jamster?
Tell us what today is, Dominic.
You're on.
Oh, I'm on.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning.
You've been
How are
on.
you?
We're good. How are you?
Hello.
You can
Hi,
hear?
Dominic. Are you hearing us?
Can you hear us?
Dominic, you're hearing us, right? Because we're hearing you loud and clear.
We even hearing your phone conversation.
Okay, well, let me go then. Well, I couldn't hear you from the beginning, so let me start. Yeah, folks, it's that day at the TDC Home and Building Depot. So, yes, I called back. Thanks again for giving me the few minutes to have this little wrap. Now, it's very strange because you can't see, but I'm going to tell you. In the middle of some Christmas trees.
I knew I heard a radio station playing
That might
Christmas songs
seem
this
weird
morning.
at this time of the year, but it's that there. And at the TDC Home and Building Depot, they've pulled out all the stops. So we started Christmas a bit early, and we're giving our customers and clients an opportunity to purchase Christmas trees if they want to.
What else is
Of
there?
course, it's the VAT. It's 20% off plus the reduced VAT.
Okay.
So you
wow.
can get Christmas trees if you want to. There's white, there's some with lights, some without lights. It's a bit festive.
Well, you had me at Christmas
You have to
trees.
forgive me.
What else do you guys have that we can pop in to get?
Unfortunately, I can't hear you.
Oh,
but,
no.
If you could give me another. Okay, I can hear you a bit now.
Can you tell us what else is on sale?
Okay, what else is on sale? Okay, it's back to school. And of course, we have our back to school items. We have backpacks, we have pencil cases, we have notebooks, we have geometry sets, we have pens, we have pencils, we have printers. And on the other side of where I'm standing, it's our hand and power tool section. So hand and power tools are on sale, paint is on sale, appliances on sale, electronics on sale. The only thing that is not on sale, folks, today is the staff. That's the only thing that's not on sale.
Good one.
So I actually wondered about appliances. Is this like large appliances, small appliances, or just all
The
appliances?
every single thing that we're doing today, it's a store-wide VAT day sale. So that also includes items from outside. Yes, that pillow is on, you get the VAT day and that VAT day special on that pillow. Okay. If you don't see the price checker, you could check it there. Yes, we have price checkers in store. So if you come to the store and you pick up an item and you're not certain what the price is, we have price checkers throughout the store, and we have staff from other departments who are here to assist us today with the VAT day special.
Are you crowded right now? Is the store crowded right now, or?
It is crowded right now. We had a bumper crowd earlier. Now, it's very surprising for me. I'll be honest with you guys that I expected the crowd to taper off, but people are still coming. I'm standing in the power aisle and people are coming in. People are pushing baskets. People pushing baskets going back and forth. Some people moving so fast I could barely stop to say hello or good morning. I never expected this frenzy on August VAT day sale.
I know Courts was open early too, so I'm not surprised. Oh my goodness. And tomorrow is VAT day as well? Dominic, tomorrow is VAT day as well too.
Yes, tomorrow is VAT day, so the offer continues tomorrow as well. And it's not just here, it's at all of our retail stores in St. Kitts and Nevis. So for persons who are wondering where to shop, the place to come is TDC Home and Building Depot, City Drugstore Nevis, or TDC Automotive. I'd just like to give a plug for our automotive division. We just introduced our 2023 Suzuki Grand Vitara. And of course, you can also have access to that on our VAT Day special. And if you want to have an experience on the VAT Day, outside of the VAT Day, and you want to test drive the Grand Vitara, you can call our automotive divisions in St. Kitts and Nevis and have that driving experience for yourself before you even purchase it. So we're giving an opportunity for you to test drive the vehicle before you actually buy it.
You guys are busy today. Wow. Is he hearing?
Yeah, but they're so busy there. I could imagine he's talking about the crowd, and you could hear the crowd.
The 2023 Grand Vitara. What, Dominic? Do you have the price for that, or you wouldn't?
Morning.
Dominic is multitasking.
Very much so.
Hello.
Are you there? Are you? But we know he's
I'm
there.
here still.
We know you're there.
Would you happen to have the price? Would you
You
happen?
guys are a bit muffled, but I could still hear you.
Oh wow.
Would you happen to have the price for the Grand Vitara? Because I know there's like a difference, something about.
It's actually we have a VAT Day special, and I think there's a cash special. I'm not too certain. I don't want to give you a wrong figure, but I think we knocked off about $15,000 off of it. So that might bring you around 120, 121, 122, somewhere around there.
Okay, nice.
And it's the 2023 Suzuki Grand Vitara, right off the lot. And it's an opportunity for you to walk into our automotive divisions and drive out in style.
You read my mind, style. Oh my goodness! Well, thank you. Thank you so much for calling in, Dominic.
But thank you very much for the opportunity, and I look forward to seeing each one of you in the store. I'll be here and I'll be checking the cameras to make sure when you're coming and when you go out.
Are you guys gonna stay open later, or you're closing at the same time?
Okay, thanks, and have a good day, guys.
Good. I always look forward to running you off the phone. So get off my phone.
That's okay. But I have to go and serve the customers, so I don't mind.
Pace yourself today. Have a good one today, Dominic.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, guys.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So, wow. We have 2 minutes.
Couple minutes.
Yeah. Wow.
Well.
So many discussions, eh?
Yes, today has been quite fruitful.
Yes, it has been.
And we've run the gamut of topics. I just hope that callers or listeners actually remember some of the tips from Fireproof, so that we don't have another fire that we recently experienced. And again, condolences to the family of the person that perished in the fire. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend. Be blessed. Take care of yourself, and then we'll see you again here on Monday for
God's willing.
Island Tea.
Yes. Have a lovely weekend,
Sounds
guys.
good.
And Patriots play tomorrow, so don't forget to go out and support.
And
I'll be watching
and
your
Warriors on Sunday.
I'll be watching your snaps, Candy.
Well, I'll be watching World Championships as well.
Well, you could bring that info, and I'll bring cricket, and we'll have a whole sports segment.
Candy, I will be watching your snaps.
I will be posting for you, honey.
Okay, just that you know.
So you're not going cricket?
It's not in the plans, maybe, but it's not in the plans. Are you going cricket?
Oh no.
See, so somebody has to represent, right?
Yeah, that's why I'll be watching your snaps. I'll be seeing what you're doing.
I have to watch the World Championships, and the Jamaicans have some. They have some drama going on now with the relay team and so
Ooh
on.
la la.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be expecting a report on that Monday, sir.
A selfish coach. Can you believe this? A coach who is the head of the team.
Tell us about the
Jamaica
Gems,
team, right?
Tell us about
He
it.
put someone on the team who was not announced, and so now he's
The
trying
team got
to
disqualified?
He's trying to put somebody on the relay team who did not make it, but was selected but was not publicly announced. So now it's causing a big stink now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, because what happens to the person that's displaced?
I'll send you all the video.
All right,
Yeah.
then.
Oh, wow.
I know
With
there
the-
was
with
another
the
coach in
athlete-
trouble this week for
Yeah.
kissing the Spanish coach that
Yeah, the
kissed
Spanish,
the young
the
woman
girl,
on her
yeah.
lips
Oh,
when they
wow.
won. So he was also in trouble. I think they're forcing him to resign, and he's adamant that he's not going to quit. So yeah, quite a bit happening in the sports end.
So we could look into it on Monday.
Definitely. Have a good weekend,
Okay,
gentlemen,
guys.
and to our listening audience. Be blessed.
Yeah, stay safe.
Thanks.
As safe as you can.
Yes.
We're different. We're 98.9.